compared to, like, if we're talking about guys they would take at 6, the only high school arm they would take at 6 is Seth Hernandez. And Seth Hernandez is pretty ridiculous because I just did a best tools list when we came out with our top 250 our night. And Seth Hernandez didn't win any category, but he was among the best. Like, we went 4 deep in each category. He was among the best fastballs, the best curveballs, best changeups, and best control. Like, and he's a high school kid.
For a high school kid, that's impressive.
You know, and he also has pretty good power too. He's like a two-way guy, although he's not going to two-way in pro ball. So yeah, I would say yes, I would agree that if looking at the guys that they would take at 6, I feel like Seth Hernandez and maybe Cade Anderson would have the high. Like Cade Anderson, it's weird. So he's the college guy, but he's really only pitched 1 year, full year as a starter in college because he had Tommy John surgery coming out of high school, and they kind of eased him in. So, but yeah, I think you could definitely make a case that Seth Hernandez has the best combination of stuff and strikes of any of those guys. And he probably has the combination, I'm making things up here, of strongest body plus conventional delivery of any of them. So yes, I think he probably has the best chance to be a starter among any of them, although Cade Anderson's right there with him.
He's like weirdly safe as a high school arm compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I haven't heard, like, I think there's a couple teams that wouldn't necessarily take Seth Hernandez up there, but again, I haven't eliminated anybody for the Pirates. And you know, Pirates have done, I mean, frankly, I feel like a better job of developing pitchers and hitters. I mean, not that totally plays into what you're doing, but like if you were going to have confidence in terms of developing a pitcher versus a hitter, I'd feel better about the Pirates with a pitcher, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, let's kind of spend a little more time on Hernandez. I mean, there was talk earlier that like Seth Hernandez could have been a number 1 overall pick, and that never happens as far as a high school pitcher goes. I guess is that just what makes him so special? Is just he's really good at a lot of things. He doesn't really seem to have a weakness, and at 18 years old, you look at that and it's just, man, you project this guy out, 3, 4, 5 years, and like the sky's the limit. Is that kind of what you're seeing with Seth Hernandez?
Yeah, and I also throw out there the high school pitchers who are kind of a cut above, they make it to the big leagues in a couple of years. Like he's probably, I hope I'm not forgetting somebody, but I think he's better than Hunter Green was as an amateur. Hunter Green, there was question about feel for spin. Like Hunter Green had the big fastball, but Hunter Green also had been handled very carefully and didn't pitch a lot of deep outings in high school or on the showcase circuit. So I think there's a little more question on that. I mean, when Hunter Green came out, they had me do a story on, is Hunter Green the best high school, I don't know if it was right-hander or left-hander, or high school right-hander, the best high school pitching prospect of all time. And I said, like, for me, in the 30-plus years I've been doing it, it would probably be Josh Beckett. And Beckett's stuff just at the time, it's weird comparing, like, Josh Beckett was, 1999? So that's
99, yeah.
26 years ago, which is crazy. Yeah. Like, it was a different era. So a guy throwing 95 back then, like, that was like throwing 100 now. And he had one of the best high school curveballs you'd ever see. Like, I feel like
Bobby Bradley. No Bobby Bradley. No.
There you go. I was gonna say, like, relative to his era, I feel like scouts were a little bit more reverential about Beckett than maybe they were about Seth Hernandez, but it's pretty close. And then sidebar here, it's funny just the way I don't know why this always sticks in my head, but there was one day Beckett was facing a team and like the number 9 hitter like cheated on a fastball and hit it out of the park for a home run and pimped it around the bases. And Beckett was pissed. And so next time the guy came up, he drilled him in the back, like basically between the shoulder blades, and just about killed the kid. And like every scout was there was like, oh, I love Josh Beckett. What a competitor. like I'm telling you, anybody who scouted Beckett who was at that game, was like that, like made them love Josh Beckett even more. So Beckett's still probably the standard, but Seth Hernandez is up there. But yeah, I think you can, like, he has higher upside than any of the college pitchers. And I think you could argue his floor, even though he hasn't pitched in college, you could argue his floor might be higher than all of them too. Because again, I think he's got the best arsenal and best all-around arsenal of any of them. He's got 3 pitches and they're all really good. And he's got a slider too. He throws strikes pretty much as well as any of them. And like I said, he's got good size and it's a good delivery. So you could argue outside of, oh, he's scary because he's a high school righty, that his floor might be as high as any of them too.
Coming into this show, I thought, at what point do we compare Hernandez to Josh Beckett? Because every high school arm with a curveball and fastball gets compared to Josh Beckett, it feels like. Is that a thing? Like, we just compare every high schooler to Josh Beckett, though?
Well, I think what you're talking about, like the guys who are cut above, like it's like it's like with Paul Skeens. You're going to compare Paul Skeens to Steven Strasburg, and if you want to go back further, we're going to throw Mark Pryor in there. And I think it's kind of the same thing. You know, there have been other high school right-handers who've gone like
Jameson Tylen's the other thought I had. Like, I remember the Josh Beckett.
Tylen was a good one, but Tylen wasn't like Beckett. Like Tylen was good, but that was close enough, and people were like, no, like that's not like because that was like what 2010,
10, yeah.
Yeah, 11 years later. So a lot of the scouts were still around, and they're like, no, like Tylen was really good, but he wasn't Beckett. But yeah, I just think if you have a guy who's like clearly cut above, you start thinking Josh Beckett. Like if you want to, high school curveball, Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood was pretty ridiculous too. But like I said, it's funny. Like I know it's not the only reason, and it does sound kind of mean, but like Josh Beckett almost throwing a fastball through the guy's back. Like the scouts over there, like, oh, I love me some Josh Beckett. Like they still tell that story. So
I secretly probably would have as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that is
my other
awesome.
question was actually going to be, how long would it take? I know he does throw a slider now, and you saw it a little bit this spring, but how long will it take for the Pirates to just make him throw a slider and kind of put the curveball on the back burner? Because it does seem like the Pirates love that slider and the fastball combination.
I know, but the curveball's so good. I feel like
Is it?
To me, I like fastball. I mean, it depends on how good the pitch is, but I almost like fastball curve better because everybody wants the fastball that rides and explodes at the top of the zone. And so let's drop a curveball down through the bottom of the zone. Like if slider, like it's not changing the eye level as much. I mean, that's oversimplified, but I don't know. I would like to think that he's got a really, really good curveball that they would, the Pirates, whoever takes him, isn't going to say, hey, we prefer sliders. You got to let them keep throwing the curve.